we're back to it. We're back to it. We're back to it. Sort of. Mostly. Actually, I'll put that over there. It's project time though. I gotta figure out where I am, of course, but yeah. Now, I'm also doing like a couple of other things at the same time, so please bear with me while I figure out where in the world is Carmen Sandiego. No, for real though. Like, I need to figure out where I am in this because I kind of stopped at like a weird point, and then I realized I have no idea what that point is. Because like some stuff happens. Oh my gosh. So okay. What is going on right now? I don't know. I think we stopped on. I'm pretty sure I stopped on an increase row. I mean, I can look at it real quick and tell. Actually, yeah, I don't know though. So, yes, we stopped on an increase row. I'm having trouble right now. I'm having so much trouble. I don't know what I'm doing, but I do know that I need to write down the time, the date, and yeah, I gotta figure out like how many minutes I worked on it the other day. I also need my computer to like do what I ask it to do, which is apparently asking too damn much. So I don't know what's going on right now. I'm upset about it though, I can tell you that. Like, we're stuck. I can't actually do anything because my computer has frozen. That is super awesome. So let's just count these stitches. I can do that. Okay, so there should be 36. I just kind of can though, because it looks like I counted too many. Okay, yes, we got the right amount. So yeah, no, we're still like in limbo though. My thing is effectively frozen. I don't know why I didn't do this like ahead of time. Like why? Like why? There is a case for me having a tablet right now though. What's going on? But and of course the pattern is not in here. I really wish it was. That would make this a lot easier. I don't even know what to do about this. You know, like for real. Other than it's really inconvenient. Really, really inconvenient. I'm upset. There's something to be said for making sure you're ready before you start recording, right? Normally I'm better about this. I don't know what's going on right now. I do know what I can do because we're at a standstill right now. And I need to not continue to be at a standstill. So what we're gonna do, apparently we're gonna interrupt these regularly scheduled messages. The word from our sponsors, i.e. we're gonna get something else I've been working on and whip that out. That's what she said. So that's exciting. When in doubt, there's always something else. Yeah, I've been working on another thing, and it's funny. This particular project actually lives. This particular project lives inside of my pocket in my work uniform. Just in case I find myself having some time. So yes, I know my computer is frozen because it's telling me it's 8:53 still, and I know it's not. So I have to get through this right here and this. So that's what we're doing right now. Yeah, I'm making another tatted flower. I've got a nice little collection of them going. This is also one of those projects where I'm not recording my time on it. So if I don't do that, know how much time I spent on any of these, it doesn't matter. So that's a cool thing about this. So I had some less than great news today, and this is just indicative of the kind of person I am. So today is Tuesday, and this happened Monday. On Monday, I was performing some standard duties of my job, and I basically caught a mistake that could have caused I won't say the biggest issue, but it definitely would have been a problem. And without knowing precisely what the problem would have been, I don't think it would have been dire life threatening, but I also don't I just don't know. And I feel if I hadn't caught it, I think somebody in the chain after me could definitely have caught it. Right? I think that could have happened. And so I don't think that me catching it is necessarily a big deal. Now, the person who I approached about this, if you will, the person who I brought this I brought this to their attention, saw me today and stopped me and was like, "Oh wow, I'm so glad I caught you." And the funny thing is, the section that I was working in today, which is where I was working yesterday, was not the section I was supposed to work in today. I was supposed to work somewhere else, and somebody decided to trade with me. And I gotta be honest with you, I wasn't upset about that because I really didn't want to work in the section that I was assigned to. Like, I don't like working over there. And if I had my way, I would always be where I am today. So yeah. And there's a really good chance that, given how today happened, as far as why I was moved to a different section, there's a really good chance I could probably make that happen again. Which sounds to me great, because I'd rather be where I was today. Anyway, not really here nor there. So they asked me, they said thanks for catching it. And I was like, I mean, that's the whole, like, there's a reason that certain things happen, right? There's a reason that certain steps are taken in the course of my job. And some of it happens to be quality control, right? Like, this is why things get checked and double checked, right? This, the whole purpose is to catch like small little errors like this, that so that they don't go any further down the pipeline than they actually need to. And like, if everybody is checking behind everyone else that they're supposed to check behind like they're supposed to, this is not an issue, right? Then, I mean, this is exactly why these steps are taken. So I don't really feel like me doing my job to the like standard that it's supposed to be done is particularly noteworthy, right? Like, I don't think that it is. I think that this is like the bare minimum, and that's how I should do my job, and it should always be done to that point. Like, I shouldn't be doing less of my job. I should be doing, and I shouldn't necessarily be doing more of my job. I should be doing my job. Like, right? Like, I feel like thanking me for doing my job, it just seems silly. And it's not that I don't appreciate the thanks, but it's also it's no big deal to me personally, because again, this is why we have quality control measures in place, right? This is the whole point, is so that stuff like this doesn't happen, and doesn't like get any worse than it like already is. Doesn't turn into like something where it would be a big deal. But I don't know. I don't feel like I should be thanked, for doing my job. Like, I think if you were commending me, friends' words, not mine. If you were commending me for doing my job, I don't know that that's like a good sign. Like, I'm a little concerned about that, because wait a minute, like, isn't everybody supposed to be doing this? Right? Like, right? I don't know. Like, I think it's weird. Okay? I think it's super weird. Now, I appreciate, the thank you. Like, honestly, the person who like approached me today, like, them saying, "Hey, I appreciate you doing this yesterday," honestly, that was more than enough for me. Like, I was good with that. And my answer to this person was, I mean, no problem. It's totally what I'm supposed to do. And I don't think it would have been, honestly, all things considered, like, particularly, like, really bad. I mean, I could see how it could have gotten really bad if there was some, like, dire need attached to it, but I really don't think that there was one. And so, yeah. Now here's where it gets messy for me personally. So this person goes and asks me if my immediate supervisor is so and so. Now, of course, obviously, I have to answer truthfully, and the answer is yes. Yes, it is. And they were like, oh, okay, I'm going to send them an email letting them know what happened and thanking them. And I'm like thinking to myself, please don't. I don't want to be on my boss's radar for any reason, good, bad, or other. Because I don't. I just want to go to work, do my job, come home, and get paid. That's all I want. Those are my goals for this position. And my goals for this position are to do this job, right, until such time that I can move on, which is, in about a month and 10 days, like 40 days. So I just need to get through another 40 days. That is literally like, oh, that's too much. That's all I need to do. I don't want to do anything else. I don't want to do anything else. Yeah. Unfortunately, I don't get to do that, apparently, which super sucks for me, but oh well. So yeah. Yeah, not my favorite. Unfortunately, I saw the email. Like, officially on the record, I didn't see the email. Because I marked it as unread. And I'm just gonna pretend like I didn't see it. I gotta be honest with you. Because I don't want to see it. But I saw what it said. And not only did it involve my boss, it involved like 2 other people that I have no idea who they are. And there's this talk of like recognition and bringing it up at a meeting. And I'm just like, oh God, why? What? No! Like, no! Please, leave me out of this. Just let me go. I'm crying inside. Like, for real. I'm sure I also sound utterly ridiculous, because who in their right mind is going to, like, avoid accolades? And I'm like me, the introvert who doesn't want to be noticed. I'm going to avoid them. And I don't know. And unfortunately, like, here's the reality. I do, in fact, appreciate someone appreciating me doing my job. That's like one of the few things I had about like my last job and the first manager I had, is at one point he was like, I really appreciate the job you're doing. And I was like, I mean, yeah, no problem. And I was like, I appreciate you noticing the job I'm doing. And while I didn't end up liking the person very much, that was a truthful statement. I do appreciate people noticing that I put forth fucking effort. I do. Because I know a lot of people do the bare minimum. They don't do any more than they absolutely need to do. And that often ends up with people skipping steps and cutting corners. Now, on the note of this particular issue, I'm going to be mum about it because I'm, obviously not trying to, right, divulge anything and whatnot. But the error was very particular. So basically, the simplest way to put it is something was mislabeled, which means it was going to get to the wrong place. Now, in the paperwork, because I'm essentially a taxi, right? In the paperwork attached to said items, it was labeled for it to go a certain place. The outside, they put like multiple labels on things because there's a label on the packing slip, and then there's like a larger label that they see that they put like on it. That's just basically its destination is like written really big. That label was correct. So the big label was right. But the problem is when it got scanned in, what would have happened is they would have seen where it was supposed to go. Right? And honestly, I don't know exactly what would happen, but theoretically, they could have seen where it was supposed to go, seen it was in the wrong place, sent it to where they thought it was supposed to go, would have also been the wrong place. And then either the first place or the second place would have been contacting the originator and being like, hey, where's this supposed to be? Because this is this. Now, based on what it was, easily somebody could have figured this out, right? Easily. I don't know who would have figured out or how, but I feel like somebody else could have noticed this. Now, I don't know after it got noticed, after it got to its first destination, the wrong one, or the right one, but thought to be the wrong one. I don't know how long it would have taken to fix this error. I don't know if it would have involved somebody coming and taking it back to where it originated and then like reissuing it. Like, I have no idea how this would have been fixed. I do understand it probably would have been a headache. Also, right, this would have resulted, right, in somebody possibly like seriously getting chewed out. Because like, while I don't think that this was particularly catastrophic, I guess it could have been. And that delay could have been a problem. And that could have cost people time and money and like involved people having to do like extra things and what, like, so I guess it could have been really bad, but I don't know in reality how bad it could have been. But the thing with it is, it was happenstance that I even noticed. And the only reason I noticed is because I noticed that the large label and the packing slip didn't match. And the thing that tipped me off is because there's packing slips with the items we're given, and that packing slip stays with the item. There's another slip that's essentially a copy of it that goes to the department that I work in. And I guess it's, again, quality control, right? Double copies of stuff. And those two labels didn't match. So the label on the packing slip and the large label didn't match. The reason I even looked at it is because I separate them and I put the packing slips with the items respectively, so that when I have to get them signed off on to say, yes, this happened, I can put it with, what it matches and not get the wrong person to sign for the wrong thing. Now, I'm not saying that anybody or most people even bother with that. Like, I'm not saying that. But if you had followed the obvious instructions, the larger label, it would have gotten to where it was supposed to get to, right? But I think when they eventually looked at it, they would have been like, oh, this isn't right, and they probably would have sent it to... they would have I think they would have tried to send it like to where it was supposed to go to. And I don't know. Like I think this could have been bad. But I also like I don't know. I don't feel like it would have been that catastrophic, honestly. But then, you know, again, I don't actually know. So, I don't know. We're going to finish this ring. And then we can get back to, we can get back to birding, by the way. Only reason we're not currently birding is because I wanted to make sure that this was right. And I want to get the birding done. But we're going to, it's funny, this shuttle matches this yarn. I'm going to finish this ring. Like, I don't like to stop the rings in the middle. Like, stop a piece in the middle. Like, I want to finish one section before I do it. If possible. Now, when I do this at work, like when I have like a minute, I totally absolutely will stop whenever I need to, because if I have a job to do, obviously I need to just pop this in my pocket. And the good thing that is that when I take it out of my pocket again, I can easily fiddle with it a little bit and figure out where I am, which is part of why this makes it in my pocket to begin with at work, because if I have to fiddle with it and fix it, like I totally can do this. Now, I love this shuttle because it's huge. I don't love this point. This point is way easier to use. This point also can split the yarn, and more importantly, can oh, I got to 30 to round 6, so like I totally would have like miscounted that. And this, friends, yeah, I think I stopped at round 6 for a reason, because it was the last increase round, and I had to straight crochet like 3, like 7, 8, 9, 10, yeah, 4 rounds. Before I guess I can actually stop this. So I might stop this ring altogether, because I'm taking it apart, and get to this whole crocheting, because I don't know. I guess you can see me commit. Needless to say, today I also have been like paired with people to train them, and I'm very upset about this, and I don't like it. I don't think that I should be training anybody. I've been there a little over a month. So like a month and I don't know, like 9 days or something like that. I don't think that that qualifies me to tell anybody how to do stuff. Now, it's really not my tenure that would have me telling anybody how to do anything, though, right? It's going to be based on how I do things and how detail oriented I am. And I do things this way because that's how you're supposed to do your damn job, okay? Like this is the thing that happens. This is like ruining my street cred for like keeping a low profile, I gotta tell you. I know that there's a little bit of a gap between these, and I've decided I'm not gonna pick this one out. Basically because I don't feel like it. Yeah. But oh my gosh, yeah, I'm not thrilled about any of this. So an email was sent, right, to like 3-4 people, and there's a bunch of people, and they're like talking about like recognizing like my good work. It's like some meeting giving me like some award, and I'm like, oh God, please don't. Like, seriously, that thank you was enough for me. Like, I don't know. I'm a simple human. Now, of course, friends chimes in when I tell them the story. They're like, that's awesome. That's a commendation. And, you know, your next job interview, when you get asked, like, anything you're proud of or that you've done really well, you should totally mention this. And I'm like, I don't want to. And friend is like, you need to listen to Business Goat when Business Goat tells you things. And I'm like, I don't like it. It's yucky. I know that they're correct. I know. Ow. Love it when my fingers lock up. I know that they are. But again, I'm trying to lay low. Okay, I'm trying to not go noticed. I just want to get through this last 40 days. And I don't need people thinking that I'm like spectacularly accomplished or like the best person ever. Because what's going to happen is then they're going to want me to do these, you know, important jobs. And I'm like, no, I just really want to be a peon. Like, seriously. I don't like being in the limelight. I don't like the spotlight. I don't like attention. I don't. And it makes me like really uncomfortable to like have attention brought to me. So there we go. So yeah, that's awesome. Now we've done this. We're gonna get our crochet on. Yeah, we're gonna save this for this. So we got 6 rounds. And I'm looking at my notes so we can get our bird on. We got 6, 12, 18, 24, 30, 36. Yeah, people just, they don't, I don't need them to know. Okay, I don't need them to know. I so don't. So we're gonna do this. All right, so now this is me crocheting now. We're not gonna quite get an hour on this, but it's gonna be okay. The goal is to get through all of these that we're just gonna crochet like 1-to-1. Okay. Because that'll be like another sticking point as far as it's gonna be another like point that I would go and want to document. Oh gosh, my brain's not working today. So, like I thought, this week is turning out to be tenser than I'd like it. I was supposed to get a drug test for my new position, and I couldn't get it done because they didn't have any appointments. And so I got an appointment to guarantee, yes, this is when you're going to get it done, and also try to avoid being late to work again. And that was not until this Thursday, and they wanted me to have it done by like last Friday. And I was like, I can't. Can we do this? And they're like, well, they don't usually want to do that. And I'm like, I understand that. This is why I'm asking to do this. So yeah, I had to take my drug test again, not because I failed it, but because I drink a lot of water. And they were like, we can't tell if you're hiding something. And I'm like, well, I'm not, but okay. This is not the first time this has happened to me. And I knew when I gave the sample, I was like, this is not going to work out. I'm like, you are going to see me again. And they're like, oh no, it might be all right. And I'm like, nope, it will not be all right. I have been through this before. I know for a fact that this is not going to work out. So that super sucks. Now I have an appointment. I know where I'm going this time. It's in 2 days, and I got the go-ahead to go again. So the good thing is that'll happen, and I'll be good to go. Now here's the funny thing, right? I ate a shit ton of poppy seeds sometime last week, and I was like, oh man, you know what, that probably would show up. There's a really good chance. And the problem with this is probably gonna flag me, and so it's just as well that I couldn't do it last week, because I had literally the day before had like a bagel practically encrusted in poppy seeds, and like honestly I didn't even think about it. I didn't even think about that. And the funny thing is I eat everything bagels, which have among them poppy seeds on them, like all the time. And I was like, oh man, you definitely need to lay off those. You know, for the next like week or so. I'm like, yes, I do. And it's just kind of funny how that worked out. So like it worked out in my favor. But like really it's me having to do this again and risking being late to work again. And I don't need that. Now, the one thing is I know to call dispatch and let them know that I'm running late. I literally got their number programmed in my phone. I know it's probably not going to be a problem because my due diligence is to call them and saying, hey, look, I'm running behind. And because of what I'm doing, this should not be a problem. So the good thing is, because this is a work thing, they really can't, they can't penalize me for it because I have to do this. Like, it's not an option. I have to do this. And they can't argue it. Like, I mean, they could if they wanted to, but it wouldn't make any damn sense. So the good news is there's that. The bad news is that it means as soon as I wake up, I'm going to have to hold it. And I'm going to have to hold it for probably a good 2.5, 3 hours. And that is not going to be fucking pleasant. I'm going to be an unhappy camper. But I have to make sure I don't have to do this a third time. Because I feel like if I have to do it a third time, and for this reason, it's going to look really suspicious. And I have to get this new job. Like, I have to. So, what we're not going to do is worry about this. Now, the funny thing is, this new job is going to have me traveling, and I hate traveling, and that's hilarious. Because I'm fixing to have to do a lot of it over the course of taking this new job, right? And because I'm going to also be in class for from the end of August to the second week in January. So I'm also going to be traveling for that. I'm going to be traveling for that to the same place. And I'm going to be traveling to a bunch of different places for this. But oh my gosh, it's funny whenever a job's like, how far are you willing to travel? My answer is no. I'm not willing to travel. I'm willing to go to a central location like clockwork every day. I am not willing to go to different locations. I'm not willing to go out of state. Like, no, I don't want to do any of those things because I hate traveling. And I'm about to travel a lot, and it's going to be part of my job. And I mean, whatever, it's not a big deal. It's just a little only incredibly ironic side. Because it's like, this is funny. Like, you hate traveling. And I'm like, sure do. Now, the instance of me catching another like weird error or something like this in my new position, I think it's going to be super, super low. Now, that said, I am really big on like advocating for people and encouraging people to advocate for themselves. And the job that I'm going to be doing is possibly going to involve me encouraging people or standing up for them. So that this might happen again. And that, guys, it's also probably going to get me a reputation that is not going to be well received. Because I'm a little on the radical side. And just a hair, just a touch. And I think what's going to happen is it's going to make me like a favorite of some people and an irritant to others. Which that I'm actually really used to, and it's not great, but it's not a shocker for me, honestly. So now we've got like 15 minutes left and like 2 more rounds. I think we'll get pretty much all of them in. So the funny thing is, I think it's really just working out for me to have had to delay this for half the video or half the project time. Because yeah, I didn't want to go past like this next documentation point. And now I don't have to worry about it. It's just, gosh, you know, when I said I wanted to be known for my work, this nonsense today, it's not what I meant. I'm really not thrilled about this. Friend thinks I'm ridiculous, though. I told them the story, and they're like, I wish somebody would recognize me for my work. And I'm like, you want my recognition? You can have it. And Friend, like, is a good worker. Like, Friend is very competent and goes above and beyond. Yeah. And the funny thing with it is, the irony of this is, Friend is doing a lot of extra work and is like doing things that are saving people money. And like, this is making a difference and making things easier, and like is like helping people like every day, and I think making like a real difference. And I'm just over here like doing my job. That's all I'm doing. I'm like kind of like, I'm doing more than probably most people are doing, but for me, I'm doing like the bare minimum, and the bare minimum is for me to do my fucking job like it's supposed to be done, right? Which is sad. Like, that's my low point, is to do it exactly how it's supposed to be done. Unfortunately, I think between this and probably anything anybody has said about me every time I've trained people, because I feel like they keep giving me people to train. And like, not exclusively, but like, I've gotten 2 permanent people to train, and I've gotten a couple of like new people to train. And I'm just like, and I'm not the only ones who've gotten the new people. Like, they don't keep people with the same person like every day, and I don't think they should, because you need to learn like other ways, because there's so much traveling involved, which is actually funny. I do a lot of traveling. It's just on foot and across a certain set of locations. But that's ironic. But like, yeah, I don't know. I'm just I'm detail oriented, and I feel like, so I'm not personally invest, and this is, I guess this is maybe where like I digress from a lot of people. I'm not personally invested in any of my coworkers succeeding or failing. I honestly don't care. That sounds terrible, but like, facts. I don't care. It doesn't matter to me one way or another, because it's not me. It has nothing to do with me, and it's not affecting me. Like theoretically, indirectly, if a whole bunch of people start screwing up, it's going to bring the heat on everybody, right? But that's kind of with everything. So I feel like that's a moot point, right? But for me, I feel like despite that, that's where I start to differ. Like, just even though I'm not like fully invested in you succeeding or failing, I'm still going to do my job to the full extent of how it needs to be done, right? I'm still going to, check and check things. And I'm probably going to be a little more diligent about that now than I was before. Like, there's a way that's like best practices to do this. And honestly, doing that probably would not, like, that wouldn't have helped here, because like the two packing lists were both wrong and they both matched, and so like the numbers would have matched up, and that it wouldn't have been caught until like it got to its destination at the earliest, other than me catching it. But like, now I'm gonna feel like I need to be even more conscientious to make sure this does not happen again, on something I'm dealing with, which is low-key annoying, because this is gonna take extra time for me to do these jobs, and they want the job performed relatively quickly, and I'm already kind of slow. I'm slow because I physically have like limitations that I have to work within, and like those are not negotiable. And yeah, I have a heart condition, and I'm not trying to exacerbate it. And I feel like it's actually gotten worse. Like, not because of this job, but like through this job, I'm noticing that it's worse. And I don't know why it seems to be worse. I don't know, like, it could be related to this job, but I'm like concerned enough that as soon as I can see a cardiologist, I'm probably going to. Because basically I'm constantly tachycardic. Like, right now, it's, my heart rate is, without me sleeping, as low as it's going to get. And it's at 86. Okay. Which is still, I think, too fucking high. But it's not tachycardic until it hits 100. But, like, I get to tachycardic standing up and walking across the room. And it was like my blood pressure was like a touch high when I got seen by employee health. And I was like, well, I have a heart condition, and I just like hoofed it here, so I'm not shocked by this. but I think it's super ironic that of the two of us, me and friends, the one who gets the recognition is the one who doesn't want it, and the one who wants it's not getting it. It's sad. It's like funny in a aw kind of way. Seriously though, like I don't like attention being drawn to me. Like I don't even want attention for doing this. Like I want the attention to be on my work, like what I'm doing, right? Not on me. Like don't look at me. Look at what I'm doing. Look at this little minger forming. Like that's what I want you to know. Don't notice me. It's not, because I don't know, it's not about me. Like I'm just making this happen. I'm just a set of hands and like a brain and some manual dexterity, a little know-how and persistence. That's it. This is, I don't know, nothing to write home about. And like I don't say it to underplay like what I'm doing, but like I'm following a pattern right now. I didn't develop this pattern. I didn't make it. I didn't I didn't do anything. I'm following instructions, and I don't think I deserve a pat on the back for following instructions. Right? That just seems ludicrous to me. And friends like, you made a whole ass thing. And I'm like, I mean, anybody who knows how to do this stuff, who was given the same tools and materials, could have done this. I didn't develop anything. Now, if I designed this, I would totally take, credit where it was due. I didn't design it. Now, could I probably design something like this? Probably. Do I want to? No, not particularly. Although I gotta say, my work is kind of going in that direction, and I'm a little, like, low-key upset about it. I think this is as awake. This is the most awake I've been for a while. Now, of course, as soon as I'm finished with this, we're gonna like probably scoot off to bed. Like, I'm so tired. I am so tired. It's not funny. Yeah. I also have like a bunch of other stuff I want to do. So, there we go. Look at this. That's little body. That's a little body. So, hooray, we got this. That's nice. So this is little body. So we're gonna put it there. I'm gonna take a picture of this tomorrow, I guess. Let's see what's following this. Okay, we're gonna do one decrease round, and then another set of single crochet, like 12, 13, and 14. We're probably gonna do that next. So, hooray! I did it! Yay! This is not much of anything. I'm probably gonna make the other one as well, like on here. But gosh, I'm so tired. That's it. So thanks for joining me. Yeah, if you came in late, I know somebody popped in a second ago, but if you came in late, yes, you're catching me right at the end. Sorry and shit. I'm seriously about to skedaddle. But I just want to say thanks for anybody who pops in, anybody who watches this later. It means a lot that you give a shit what I'm doing, because you could do like anything else with your time. And I think it's cool that you came in. So, yeah. That's it. So, So long, farewell, auf Wiedersehen, and good night, railings, and I will see y'all tomorrow, hopefully for more Birbness, and like on time this time.